think, and the only reason I brought it up was I'm not seeing any other option. As far as
so Lord's no chance?
Lord, I don't think will be playing at all. He's got an AC that he hurt last week. Radicalea, I would think's coming in but going back because of the loss of Jones and Burton, so I can't see him going forward, and I don't know any replacements tall-wise for back. Williams half-back, but that's about it. You could put Atkins in half-back or wing and Burgoyne back, but there's no talls. That's the biggest issue, I think, Steve, that why they're probably considering Finlayson once again.
Is the biscuit barrel getting empty? Are you reaching in and getting the Scotch fingers?
When
the Tim Tams at the top are all gone.
When you look at the injuries, they are the talls, mainly the talls, and Zach Butters obviously being a midfielder. So it has definitely depleted us in that zone. So here's Ken on the flexibility of Jeremy Finlayson.
He's a utility for us this year, and he needs to play where we need him, and he's more than okay with that. He can play ruck. I've said this before, he can play ruck and play back and play forward and play on the wing if we need to. So he's in a good spot to get himself into the team when he needs to.
Yeah, so look, I'm with you, Steve. I think on form, in the normal scenario, I don't think he'd be considered at all. I think they'd be saying, go play some sample footy, get some confidence up, we'll have a look at your back. But I actually did say at the beginning, don't play him back, because I just don't think it suited him. So he definitely, as a forward and 10 minutes in ruck, rather than Ollie Wines, I'd probably go with that.
Oh, he's bowled.
No. Chopped
it on, and that was Alex Carey.
Oh, no.
Out. He is out, and he made 24. So South Australia now 5 for 104.
And that just came after an over where Jake Lehman pummeled Marnus Labuschagne to the boundary 3 times in a row. So bit of a good breakthrough for Queensland. And just a quick reminder, on Friday, we are looking forward to Rowey and Timmy G's Showdown Fish Off, all thanks to Pepper's Cleaning Products and Alpha Industries, celebrating 40 years delivering custom-made outdoor and storage solutions at alphaindustries.com.au. Going to be a lot of fun. Ned McHenry, Scotty Hodges and George Fiacci are laid in. Is going to be lots of fun. So that's all coming up on Friday. Jimmy Bartell coming up after the 5 o'clock news.
Rowey and Timmy G on the FIVEAA Sports Show.
We're interrupting your show. Sorry. Because Binge Basic is now just $4.99 a month for 12 months. That's a bingillion hours of entertainment for less than $5 a month. Offer ends March 31st, so head to binge.com.au/4. New and returning customers only.
Adelaide's local, trusted and truly connected talkback radio station. FIVEAA. Always Adelaide.
If you can't stop using your mobile phone illegally, drink or drug driving, driving without a seatbelt, speeding or driving dangerously, South Australia Police will stop you. With more patrols, more road safety cameras and more driver testing, stop breaking the rules before we stop you. Think road safety. A message from the Government of South Australia.
At Mount Barker Mazda, we are the BT50 Ute experts. Talk to Neil, our BT50 genius, who can guide you seamlessly through the purchase experience. From choosing the right ute through to all the genuine accessories, Neil has the answers. At Mount Barker Mazda, we live and breathe Mazda BT50 Ute. Whether it's for work or play, we have the perfect BT50 Ute for you at a price you can't resist. Get good old country service at amazing city prices. That's the Mount Barker Mazda difference.
At IGA, great value is easy to find. Like Supercoat dry dog food 2.6 to 2.8 kilos selected varieties, $10.80 each. IGA, you can't beat local. Offer ends April 1. Participating stores only. Excludes IGA, local grocer and Foodland.
Harris Scarf greatest brand sale is on now. Save 30% or more on full price kitchen appliances by Ninja. Upgrade your kitchen with our range of blenders, food processors, air fryers and more. Don't miss these huge savings. Sale in soon. Conditions apply. Harris Scarf. Great brands, great prices.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide Tech Guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
Harvey Norman is bringing the heat with massive savings on HP and Asus laptops. For a limited time, you can save up to 20%. Yes, 20%. Need a lightweight, reliable laptop for work or study? The HP 14S with 8 gig of RAM is now just $598, saving you $130. For power users, the Asus VivoBook 15 with a huge 1 terabyte terabyte of storage is now $888. That's over $300 off. Or step up to serious performance with the HP Intel Core Ultra 5 laptop boasting 16 gig of RAM, a steal at $1,098, saving you $600. Harvey Norman delivers the best brands, the best range and the best prices guaranteed. Don't miss out on these tech bargains. Shop now. Terms and conditions apply.
Check out this great offer at a Harvey Norman store near you.
Better for life.
At Southern Cross Care, we understand that your needs are as individual as you and that they can change as you age. Whether you're still living in your family home or in a retirement village, Southern Cross Care can provide home care services to help you stay healthy and independent. Our approach is simple. Quality services tailored to your needs and delivered by a local team you can trust. Visit southerncrosscare.com.au.
Better for life.
The very latest news and information. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Down to 17 tonight, sunny tomorrow 32. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
To make room for renovations, Agostino Mitsubishi are having a stock clearance sale on now. Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
A woman in her 40s has died after being found collapsed at a Christie Downs home this morning. Police were called to the unit in Rufus Crescent. Southern District Police Commander Les Buckley says a man was taken away.
When police arrived, there was a male on the scene, a 54-year-old male. He became upset, and as a result, the allegation is that he has assaulted police, and so he's been arrested and he's currently in the Christie's Beach cells.
He says the couple lived together and police have been called to the home before. The Whyalla Steelworks is looking for up to 100 new employees, 63 immediately. A number of workers were laid off by former owner GFG amid financial problems. The Albanese government says this year's election is a referendum on who is best placed to run the economy. Labor's fourth budget includes a number of spending measures, including another round of tax cuts. Latest data also shows inflation continues to moderate. Treasurer Jim Chalmers says it's vindication of the government's policy platform.
We have brought inflation down while encouraging a broader recovery in our economy, which is now well underway. Our fiscal policy helped break the back of inflation when it was at its peak. It adjusted to support growth and preserve employment as inflation came down.
Labor is condemning a Greens senator who brandished a dead fish wrapped in plastic during parliamentary debate. Sarah Hanson-Young pulled out the salmon to protest controversial environmental legislation. Labor Minister Jenny McAllister says Ms Hanson-Young's behaviour was inappropriate.
My view is that Australians deserve better from their public representative than stunts. They deserve better than stunts.
Order! Fashion retailer Jeans West has gone under. 90 stores across Australia are expected to close, with 600 jobs being axed as it enters voluntary administration. Retail expert Gary Mortimer says cost of living pressures are hitting the clothing industry hard.
Ultimately, it's the perfect storm. We've got a crowded marketplace in that mid-tier fashion sector. We've got a lack of differentiation happening between those brands. Discretionary spending is very tight. People aren't buying new clothes.
A tourist attraction in the Clare Valley is closing after a quarter of a century. The Mintaro Maze will shut up shop next month. The owners are retiring. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Kiza Physiotherapy, Rehabilitation and Strength Training. Build strength with precision at Kiza Norwood.
Plenty of wickets have fallen on day one of the SA Queensland Shield clash at Karen Rolton Oval. After being sent into bat, the Bulls were all out for 95. In reply, the home side is 5 for 106. To footy, and Port will name their side for round 3 this hour. They play Essendon in Melbourne tomorrow night. We already know 19-year-old Tom Cochrane will make his debut to cover one of 3 injured players. Adelaide meet North Melbourne at home on Sunday. Crow Riley O'Brien telling Rowey and Timmy G they've kicked a lot of goals in their first 2 games.
I mean, we've been pretty high scoring so far, and a few other teams have been pretty similar, like the new age team like a Hawthorn. They're pretty attacking and they're pretty freewheeling in the way they play, and it's really good to watch, and I guess we've been like that the first couple of games, so we'll keep that going and obviously still focus on defence but then have a real flair and a bit of freewheeling attack.
And in tennis, Aussies Alex de Minaur and Adam Walton have made fourth-round exits in Miami. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Sharman Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the big white building, still at 412 North East Road.
Getting busy in the usual spots for the drive home. South Road at Karata Park near Anzac Highway. Main North Road Enfield starting to build. And she's slow the Port of Expressway at Port Adelaide. Expect a few delays and foot traffic around the Karen Rolson Oval for the Sheffield Shield final this afternoon. And look out for cameras. Airport Road, Brooklyn Park and Chandler's Hill Road and Happy Valley. More low prices at Dan Murphy's. Pure Blonde Ultra Low Carb 330ml bottle was 24Ks, 3 for $145 for members. Ends today. Choose to drink wise. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota forklift advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 17 tonight, sunny for your Thursday, 32. Friday, mostly sunny, 33. Saturday, 29. Right now, it's 29 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglis. Tonight, a woman found dead in the southern suburbs. Police say it's suspicious. The winners and losers from the budget, what it means for you. The groundbreaking new breast cancer device. An RAAF plane shot down in World War II, discovered deep in the ocean. And the touching moment, Port Son of a Gun is told he'll make his AFL debut. 9 News. Your news. 9th at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
In Adelaide and across South Australia, this is 5AA. Always Adelaide. The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey.
I am flabbergasted.
And Timmy G.
Absolute sports festival.
6 minutes after 5, live at Karen Rolton Oval this afternoon. It's day one of the Sheffield Shield final between South Australia and Queensland. The Bulls were bowled up for 95 earlier today. South Australia in bat right now, 5 for 108, so have taken the lead. And Jake Lehmann is currently out in bat, 33 not out. Alex Carey out earlier for 24. Liam Scott currently out there too, just moments ago entering the crease, 2 not out. So a nice little early lead for South Australia. We'll keep the updates coming throughout if you're tuning in. We are, of course, live on the sideline of Karen Rolton. Brilliant crowd that's come out. We'll get a crowd number soon too. So it's been a fantastic afternoon, day one, and lots of wickets to fall. Still to come on the show. Where are they now? At 5:30, we have a North Melbourne champion. So stay tuned for that. That is not too far away. Central's coach Paul Thomas will join us as we lead into round one of the sample season, and we'll keep taking your calls, 8223 0000. But thanks to Statesman Windows, Adelaide's most trusted boutique window company, SA family owned and operated since 1980, as we applaud another great boundary from our South Aussies. Let's get to our next guest, Jimmy Bartell.
Bartell checks sides it brilliantly. He can do it all, James Bartell. He's my brother, man.
Jimmy Bartell on the 5AA Sports Show.
Certainly is Jimmy Bartell each and every week, thanks to Statesman Windows. Welcome, Jimmy.
Thanks, guys. Happy week in Adelaide town, isn't it?
Well, yes, there was a couple of big wins, 61 points to 72 points, so we'll get onto those in a moment. Just the takeouts from round 2. First of all, there was a couple of upsets that maybe people didn't see coming. St Kilda over Geelong and the North Melbourne one. It ended up sort of blowing out a bit, but we're going to see more of that.
I think it just points to the evenness of the competition and then competing styles as well. So starting with St Kilda and Geelong, once Tom Stewart went down, the Cats lost a little bit of structure behind the ball. Yeah. This is not taking anything away from the Saints. So just saying the Cats losing Stewart early is a big blow because they still rely so heavily on him for pretty much 3/4 of the field. And then you say the other front half stuff is Jeremy Cameron, which again, Cal Wilkie, it just keeps getting undersold how dominant he is for the Saints, which forced Jeremy Cameron up the ground. And probably the Cats didn't pull the trigger quick enough to get him back in the attacking half. He stayed a long time on the wing, but the Saints just denied the Cats the football. I think that Geelong only had 130 possessions to half-time, which is a very low number in today's footy. And some guys had some attention put on them and didn't handle it well. So Marcus Windhager, who I love as a footballer, just put Max Holmes to bed in the first half and kicked goals on him. And so that's a steep learning curve for someone like Holmes, but the opposition not just going to let you run around and do whatever you like. And that means when the attention goes on you, you still have to defend in your front half. So he probably will get a very quick learning curve out of that one, Holmes. But Windhager gets another player. He has put a few to sleep and taken them to the cleaners. But the Saints were awesome. I like their young core. They've got a fair bit of talent there. And on North Melbourne and Melbourne, just starting on Melbourne, this grinding style of football that they play, it opens you up and keeps the opposition in games, even where you can dominate. So, Oliver and Petrarca are getting back near to their absolute best. But if the opposition can match them in that contested style and they're able to open up the game, Melbourne got scored against, and then that was the last quarter happening where they just kept kicking goals from out of centre bounce. So Melbourne's got to be willing to give up a bit to get a bit, and by that I mean is take the game on a bit more, which might mean a couple of more goals a kick against you, but at least when you got dominance in the game, you can put a decent score on the board.
A couple of the games were played in pretty humid and hot conditions. It was even hot and humid here in Adelaide, but I think Brisbane at 12 o'clock, as far as scheduling goes, and Perth at this time of the year, very nasty conditions there as well. Do you think they've done the schedule thinking it was winter?
Yeah, look, it's a difficult task. I get it. Like, trying to put so many games in. You got club requests. You got people wanting to play, certain teams at certain times, and then you're only allowed to have a certain amount of 5-day breaks to 7-day breaks, and it'd be a nightmare. I reckon they got some pretty good algorithm or computer system that generates it for it. But you need the old double check once you go through and go, you know what, 5 o'clock in Brisbane probably any time before June, it's going to maybe be hot. Perth, they've got a pretty damn good climate over there. Maybe we should look at just twilight until we get the proper winter, things like that. So maybe running an actual set of eyes over it. The one that's going to frustrate me this weekend is you actually rescheduled a game, which is the Geelong-Brisbane game, but you rescheduled to this Saturday at the exact same time as another game. Surely we've got enough time slots. We'll just start one 15 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
Well, we're not asking for much. 15 minutes earlier is not going to impact flights and accommodation, is it?
No, I wouldn't have thought. Gee
that
whiz.
sounds a bit dopey. I only just worked that out then myself. hey, Jimmy, have you ever had a coach make excuses for your performance on Saturday like Goody did for Maxi Gawn?
Oh, I wish Bobber Thompson in the early days when I was a young lad. Hey, look, I'm going to take a bit of a different tack on it. Everything we're hearing out of Melbourne, it's clearly they've gotten together in the summertime and going, right, we've been combative, we've got some relationship issues. You hear Melbourne every time in the media the last couple of years, they've taken, you've all got it wrong, it's us against the world. So they've gone down the love path, that everybody love everybody, we're open, this is new Melbourne. I think what Simon Goodwin's done is gone to that and gone, look, I'm going to be, they're really open, we're really compassionate, all that sort of stuff, but maybe just didn't articulate the way he wanted to. And if he cut off what he was saying 2 sentences beforehand, he would have been perfect. So, we always say you can still say the same thing in different ways, where he could have gone, look, Max wasn't his best. I think over his career he hasn't served up too many like that. Tristan Cherry was an All-Australian squad ruckman and is very good and probably got the better of it today. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a great call.
Yeah.
Hey, mate.
Unless you're Malcolm Blight.
Poor pitiful Pittman.
He's still wearing that.
Oh,
hey,
God.
There was a lot of focus around Harley Reid, and I know you sort of said, hang on, he's a 19-year-old kid, cut him some slack. He's going to learn these things as he goes along and the like. Now, there was another take on it. I really liked Hodgie during the week. He said, I think we're underestimating how hard he is working. He said this guy's had over 25 touches on several occasions. Last year he got 29 on a really good player. He said, I don't think people know that. He said, I took till year 4 before I got 22 touches in a game. Now, if you had said that to anybody, I reckon you lost money on that Luke Hodge, first time he gets 22 possessions was year 4. I reckon that's a real wake-up call for everybody to just sort of calm down on these high draft picks.
Yeah, I think sometimes people only remember the good in their careers, which is what you want to do. You want to block out the bad games, but we've all had plenty of bad games, and I agree. I'm on sort of the side that Luke Hodge is going and some other players. It's a difficult game to play. He had 15 touches with about 6 clearances. Now, I get he gave away too many free kicks, but it'd be frustrating. Your team is getting pounded. You're playing against the reigning premiers, and it's 30-plus degree heat, and you're getting sat on already, it'd be a frustrating thing because you remember every step of his junior career he's been the most dominant player. So if things are going bad, let's just go down the goal square and I'm probably going to kick 2 or 3 in the quarter and we win the game. It's a lot harder to do that at AFL level as he's finding out. Also, at 19, we're asking for an old head to be stuck on young shoulders. Like, if we knew everything we knew now, guys, at the age of 19, we'd probably be millionaires and geniuses and dominating everything in life, wouldn't we? So they're lessons that you got to learn. And, you know, not only at 19 in football, you're going to ebb and flow through the week, but that's going to happen during games as well. So we got shut out in the first quarter, fought back in the next 3, gave someone the bird. Well, we know, you know, probably not what everyone's looking for, but a lot of other people are going to say, what? Like, are we that sensitive?
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is there, Jimmy. You live in a glass house, don't throw stones. I just like more of the media that actually played to be a bit more like you and the others in Hodgie, that they realise how hard it is to play and come from a player's perspective first before you pot them. The kid's bloody 19, and I thought you handled that well, Jimmy. Hey, let's move on to some really good topics, some real good topics now, Jimmy. How good are the Crows? Are they, in your eyes, Jimmy Bartell, the real deal?
Well, have they finished that game yet? Because the amount of goals that they kicked, there would be that much time on. They kicked 160 points. That's incredible. We love that. And again, I think people are finally picking up on our conversations we've been having about Matt Crouch. We never said he wasn't a good player, but if the midfield mix is right,
spot on.
He actually looks even better. So, you know, you have the right people around him. Means all his little inside work in the little phone box actually gets, you know, highlighted. So I mentioned before round 1, the Crows played, you're good in front of the ball and you're good behind the ball. It was just getting between the arcs right and what mix you had, and that's starting to click together. And look, I know the Bombers aren't a great side, but still to kick 160 points in the manner that they played their footy is what we want to see. It's still very solid around the ball. It's moving it quickly. I love the fact that, you know, some people are eating some humble pie on Riley Thilthorpe. The guy has an elite talent. His body wasn't holding up early in his career. Now he's a proper monster. He's enormous. He is. The contested marking is so good to watch. So, look, just injuries. Just hopefully Rankin, you know, stays fit all the time. You know, obviously he's had some little hamstring concerns already in his career. We just want to see the Crows fit and firing. And the good thing I'm liking from the big fella in the ruck, O'Brien, he's not just tapping the ball down at his feet every time. There's some variation going on, which makes him incredibly unpredictable and hard to play against in the midfield.
Yeah. Well, Walker, Fogg, Thilthorpe, not many teams have got that, the dynamic of them and how they work together with the smalls around them. I think it's the best forward line in the comp. They're going to meet
just
North.
On that one, sorry. So just on that one, Rochelle is playing good footy, so let's celebrate it. I know people are very quick to whack him when, you know, he probably didn't go as hard as he should have, but you know, you got to keep it equal and balanced. You got to sing someone's praises if you're going to whack him as well. So he's playing good footy in the first couple of rounds.
My word, he is. His first 2 games have been terrific. Team orientated. North's midfield worry me. This is I'm not going to say a danger game. It's home. The Crows are in good form. They get it right. They should beat them. But, geez, I've been impressed with North.
Yeah, and the good thing is I think we saw for the first time all of them play well together.
Correct.
So we've seen Sheasel play really good games. We've seen Luke Davies-Uniacke play really good games. Jai Simpkins back to his best. I think the last 18 months and maybe that heavy concussion that he copped maybe rattled him a little bit, and obviously you can get a little bit fatigued getting belted every week by 70, 80 points. So, but he looks to be the guy he was a couple of years ago. The Kircher just keeps finding the footy across half-back, and then you throw in the young kid, Sullivan. And Powell's another one. Powell looks now finally like I belong at AFL level instead of I'm in, then I'm out. What am I doing here? So that's the first time we've really sat and watched North Melbourne go, hey, they're all playing well, which makes it a completely different proposition. Cherry, who I mentioned a little bit earlier, he's just so combative. He's just worked out how he needs to play AFL footy, and that means I'm not going to win every hit out, but, geez, I'm going to fight for my life for the clearance and the contest. Compton's getting better at centre half back. It helps when Melbourne just keep kicking it directly to him. Yeah, and I think all of us like Larky, but Paul Curtis is one for me. Early in his career, he does what is really difficult for that mid-sized forward. He can find space inside forward 50 really well. And so now he's getting more ball use and better looks. He'll just get better.
Can Port Adelaide beat Essendon? They've both got 9 injuries on their list. Heading over to Marvel, it could be a game of attrition.
Yeah, Port play well at Marvel, though.
Yeah, they've got a good record.
Yeah, they always seem to play well. Essendon, they're really hard to get a read on. Like, are they going to respond? Because they've been belted here in the media and even by their own supporter group because, you know, we did credit Adelaide, but some of the efforts from Essendon's leaders again, you know, not choosing to chase, just spread from contest, then simple fundamental errors. Like, Brad Scott can coach all he wants, but if you can't even get a target, you know, off the back of a mark from 15 metres away, I don't know what game plan you're going to run, but it's pretty hard to run anything if you can't, you know, execute a simple skill like that. So I'm expecting a response from Essendon, but I still think Port Adelaide, I just think there's a little bit too much class for the Bombers, and the Bombers, they're almost accepting their lot, it sounds like. All the conditioning from coaches and people out of Essendon is, we're not saying the word rebuild, but we sort of want you to say it for us.
Wow.
Oh, God, they were awful. That's going to be a cracker, that game. Hey, just before we let you go, Hawks GWS, I don't know whether this is the right word, a prelude to maybe a grand final or a prelim, but, gee, that's got tasty written all over it, that one at Launceston, hasn't it?
Yeah, proper tasty.
Proper tasty, Jimmy!
Probably the biggest game as far as, like, high-end game that they've had down there in Lonnie for a while. So if both sides play, you know, to their maximum capability and their style, I'm with you. It'll be an exciting game as you want to watch. You've got Hawthorn's ball movement by foot versus Giants who just try and beat you with ground speed and forward handball. So it's probably who gets the ascendancy as far as the way the game's played. Will get on top there. I think the Hawks are just going, Giants really played there too and then a bye, but I think the Hawks are probably a little bit more gelled together because really we haven't seen Stringer in the forward line. Hogan's been out, of course. Riccardi hasn't played, and Tom Green's coming back in the side. So I just think the fact that the Hawks have just had more minutes with the same setup might just have a slight edge. And they're hard to beat down there. They've got an amazing record at Lonnie.
Yeah, they do. Hey, have a great round 3, Jimmy. Love your work.
Talk to you next week, buddy.
Double pie floaters for all the success there in Adelaide.
Mate, we're coming.
With sauce.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Good on you, Jimmy. All thanks to Statesman Windows, Adelaide's boutique window company, trusted by the best builders in Adelaide. And just like Jimmy Bartell, they're elite performers, so consistently delivering at the highest level. You need the best windows. See Statesman Windows.
22 minutes after 5 here at Karen Rolton Oval, South Australia, 6 for 112. Liam Scott just nicking behind moments ago. And Vidler, young Callum Vidler, who's a 19-year-old, has taken 4 of the 6 wickets. He's been bowling rapid pace. So that is not a great sign. Lehman's still at the crease, 33 not out, and Menenti has just gone out to bat as well for a couple of balls faced. It is currently, as we said, 22 after 5. Let's check your traffic.
Afternoon, crash at Salisbury to look out for. It's on Commercial Road near John Street. Got a blackout at College Park at the moment. It's affecting the lights on the North Terrace near Trinity Street. It's also the case nearby the St Peters area on Pangham Road. Expect some delays and foot traffic around the Karen Rolton Oval for the Sheffield Shield final. And look out for works at Glenelg, East Brighton Road near Dunbar Terrace. The OMG event is here. Drive away the all-new MG HS, the perfect family SUV, from 34,888 plus 10-year warranty. Test drive today. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Hi, Brett Ebbett here for Mawson Lakes Mazda. We've been doing deals on a huge range of 2024 plate Mazdas, and we've just received truckloads more of them, all priced to clear. These drive-away deals on new Mazdas include free 12 months rego, free stamp duty, and accessory packs worth $500. Yep, absolutely free. All exclusive to Mawson Lakes Mazda. No gimmicks, just great deals. Mawson Lakes Mazda, Salisbury Highway, T's and C's apply.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. The famous National Tiles Spend and Save is on now. Spend $4,000 will only charge you $2,750. Spend $2,000 will only charge you $1,450. Or spend $1,000 will only charge you $750. Yes, the more you spend, the more you save at the National Tiles famous Spend and Save. But you'll have to be quick. So rush into a National Tile store near you or go online at nationaltiles.com.au now and save.
Everything under the sun cops a beating from UV rays, so cover things up and they last longer, and the same goes for you.
Well, it's true, and it's scary, this, when you read it. 2 in 3 Aussies will be diagnosed with skin cancer and melanoma actually kills twice as many men as women.
Yeah, and that's because we're not covering up. Look, it starts with checking the UV daily and remembering to slip, slop, slap, seek and slide every day. But there's plenty more sun smarts where that came from.
Well, you're right, Timmy. Here's some. Did you know sunscreen takes 20 minutes to fully activate and only works for up to 2 hours? Caps offer far less protection than broad-brimmed hats. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? When the UV is 3 and above, it can cause permanent damage to your skin. So don't be a stat. Be sun smart. Cover up and protect your skin.
Look, I'm going to be keeping an eye on you for this fish off too. Before we go, we're going to make sure that we do all of these things, and we will check out 5AA YouTube and Facebook Live, because on those streams you can actually see today's maximum UV.
At Coles, stock up on Huggies for the holidays with 40% off Huggies bulk nappy pants, 24 to 36 pack, now just $13. Save $9. That's great value, hands down, at Coles. Offer ends 1 April.
We know you are concerned about SA's public hospital capacity and how long it can take to see a doctor. So are we. We need enough doctors to provide the safe, quality care you deserve. There are solutions for South Australia, and it's not rocket science. Visit safermedicalstaffing.com.au and sign the petition to support our 3-point plan for enough doctors for South Australia. Authorised by Dr. David Pope, South Australian Salaried Medical Officers Association, Adelaide.
If you can't stop using your mobile phone illegally, drink or drug driving, driving without a seatbelt, speeding or driving dangerously, South Australia Police will stop you. With more patrols, more road safety cameras and more driver testing, stop breaking the rules before we stop you. Think road safety. A message from the Government of South Australia.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Yeah, there'll be a little bit more life in it, slightly more in it for the bowlers, but I think typically here it's hard to take 20 wickets. There's no doubt about that.
Well, that's the captain, Nathan McSweeney, ahead of today's game, and day one has seen 16 wickets fall, so a little bit uncharacteristic for Karen Rolton Oval in that it's generally a batter's paradise. The pitch has been put in, a little bit of grass coverage earlier today, and South Australia bowled out Queensland for 95 after winning the toss, fielding first, and they're now 6 for 117.
Hey guys, just on the unique home-style food text, we're at KRO, as we know, watching this Shield final, but got a text from a mate, George. He says, there's a guy there called Azza G. He's been doing it tough, but he's a fighter. Can you give him a shout-out, please? Well, George, there it is. Azza G, where are you?
Who is Azza G?
Well, he's on there. There he is there.
Oh, you meant on the
he's here at the,
unique home-style food. Yeah. Oh, there he is. He's waving from underneath that sunny on the outer side.
Beautiful. Hello,
because we are live at Karen Rolton Oval. What a great runner-up oval this is. How good is that deck?
It's like so magnificent, isn't it?
We just spoke to Chad Sayers. What did he get all upset about? Well, how many wickets down the leg side going for hooks?
And which is sort of gifting wickets, isn't it? Because they're not getting you out with great deliveries that you get an edge to, or bowling you with the Yorker or whatever. You're actually just playing a poor shot down leg side, getting a little glove on it, and you're out.
Alex Carey chopped on. This young Vidler who's bowling, you said to me driving down, he said, have a look at this Vidler. He bowls at about 145, 150. So I asked Chad Sayers, how old is he? You thought he was 14.
I did.
He's actually 19.
Yeah.
God, he can whistle him in, can't he?
He's not very tall either.
No. Well, nor was Chad Sayers. We've got a caller. Let's go to our callers. 8223000. Hello, Philip.
Hi, Rowey and Timmy. I just had a bit of homework for you as far as the AFL goes. Do you know when they're going to release the date times for round 16 and beyond? I just normally plan
Timmy asked
Ballarat.
Yeah, last year, Philip, I reckon I hammered Caro over that. Just trying to find out when they were going to release it. I don't think they released it till the 3rd week of May last year. I'm hoping that it's earlier this year, but I think at best maybe around 10.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully.
Don't we have to plan?
Well, you'd like to.
I'm with you, Phil.
I think that's what Phil wants to do, is
I'm with you,
plan
Phil.
a few trips away.
Can I play this? Bulldog coach Luke Beveridge was on Channel 9's Footy Classified. He spoke about the AFL illicit drug policy.
It gets in the way of clubs helping their own players. Because the mental health model, if a player's ever struggling, in a clinical sense with the game and in life, the 3 strikes policy doesn't exist for them, and you can't help them because it's secretive. Whereas, I'll know that someone's got a hamstring injury, they're out for 4 weeks or 3 weeks, but I won't know that young Billy's rolling around the corner and finding it hard to deal with life and is taking illicit drugs to cope. I won't know that.
It is fair. Now, why would he be? Well done. Was that Manetti just hit it 4? That was
shot.
very nice. Very nice. Batting well. Lovely get to 200. Why would a football show be asking Bulldogs coach Luke Beveridge about the illicit drug policy?
Well,
what do you think?
Because they're concerned.
Well, they're concerned because there's a, inverted commas, player that's not on the list at the moment, that's not there. So you're putting one and one together. So they hide behind this social welfare policy and mental health.
And we had Paul Marsh on and asked exactly that question.
And tiptoe around. There wouldn't be a football person out there that wouldn't be going, he's speaking about, no, I won't name him because I'm not too sure we're allowed to, but 1 and 1 equals 2, doesn't it? It enables drug use, this policy. I don't know whether it encourages it, but it borderlines that. Tim, it's certainly not a deterrent.
No. And I think to more so to Luke Beveridge's point, it's more so about some of the closest people at the club can't help you. And they can't.
I would have thought a
help.
captain, a coach, a mum, a dad, a social worker would be able to help a lad like that. Now, the policy allows for illicit drug use. It actually allows for illicit drug use. No, it does. I don't care what you say. It allows for it.
And that's why it's broken. It's 5:30 headlines time. We are live at Karen Rolton Oval, but next we are going to talk in Where Are They Now to a North Melbourne legend.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Good evening, Mel Usher with the 5AA News headlines. The Albanese government is on track for its $17 billion tax package to pass through Parliament as early as tonight. A house fire at Maylands today is being treated as suspicious. The Whyalla Steelworks is looking for up to 100 new employees, 63 immediately. And in sport, Port's Tom Cochrane will make his debut tomorrow night. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Sharman Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the big white building, still at 412 North East Road.
Accident breakdown free today, so a pretty good run home. Although getting busy in the usual spots, South Road at Carrata Park, Main North Road at Enfield sluggish, also at the Grand Junction Road intersection, and Tapley's Hill Road, you can always bet on that. That's always busy, just near Glenelg North and the Anzac Highway area. Cameras made Terrace Lockleys and Port Road at Croydon. Look for the RAA sign at over 400 independent RAA approved repairers across SA. You know you can trust them because RAA do. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, down to 17 tonight, sunny for your Thursday, 32. Right now it's 29 degrees. We'll have more news at 6 on 5AA, always Adelaide.
I'm really keen to hear what's everyone planning on spending their $5 a week on.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Well, you got a year to work it out, which is the other good thing, isn't it?
Well, that's it. You don't want to, you never want to rush into an important financial decision.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
If you're going to spend a significant amount of money, $5, it's good that they've given us that long to plan it.
5AA breakfast.
You could perhaps go to Officeworks and buy a pen.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA, always Adelaide.
No one loves a clean truck more than Ray Pepper. Ray even launched his own truck washers and developed his own truck strength cleaning products. Now you can try the range of Pepper's truck strength cleaning products for your car, caravan, boat or home. And they're made right here in Adelaide. Make it shine, because everything goes better with a bit of Pepper. Shop online and check out the Peppers Starter Pack with a bit of everything for just $69.90. Go to peppersaustralia.com.au.
At Simplicity Funerals, we have been keeping funerals simple and easy for over 40 years. Visit simplicityfunerals.com.au or call us 24/7 to get started today. Simplicity Funerals. Easy, respectful, simple.
Dad, how are Aldi's baby cucumbers made?
Ask your mother.
Well, I did, but she just said they're crispy and crunchy.
Oh, well, there you go then. Aussie produce at Aldi prices. Aldi, good different.
Build a roof over your decking, a roof over your car. Alpha Industries are the best by far. A roof over your Barbie, a roof over your beers. Alpha Industries last for donkey's years. A roof over your swimming pool, a roof over your boat. Alpha Industries, ask us for a quote. Build a roof over your grandma or anything you please. Verandas, sheds and carports, Alpha Industries.
Are you in the draw? Just 2 days to go for the chance to live mortgage-free in Somerton Park. Only 2 days to buy your tickets in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery. Live the dream, mortgage-free in a fully furnished Scott Salisbury home with $500,000 cash. The absolute final deadline is midnight Friday. Life-changing prizes, life-changing impact. HomeLottery.com.au. Licence M14673.
Discover the world with Bunnock Tours and Phil Hoffman Travel. Family run since forever. Travel with these small group specialists with just enough guidance and freedom to explore. Dive deep into the heart of each destination with sightseeing and tipping included. Plus return airfares on most tours. From ancient pyramids to bustling bazaars. Discover more of what you came to see with Bunnock Tours because it's who you go with that matters. Visit pht.com.au.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
25 minutes to 6, still to speak to Central's coach Paul Thomas, round 1 this week in the Sandford. Looking forward to all that. We've got time for your calls as well, 8223 0000. We are live at Karen Rolton Oval. Ben Manenti's just starting to get a little bit of a roll on here for our Sackers, which is nice. We are currently 6 for 129. He's 16 not out, Ben, and Jake Lehman 34 not out as well. But let's get into one of our favourite segments of the week. Where are they now? All thanks to Walco, who are at the centre of SA's biggest cover-up with their incredibly good-looking Walco mesh pool cover.
The 5AA Sports Show's Where Are They Now? Past legends, past glories.
Well, this guy was described as pure silk. He was nicknamed the racehorse because he was so quick. I remember those white anklets on the winners every Sunday night watching him play. He played 294 games for North Melbourne, 27 for Brunswick in the VFA before that, a total of 321 games. Represented Victoria 13 times, a premiership player in 75. Back-to-back Brownlow medals, 73, 74. All-Australian in 83. Australian Football Hall of Fame. AFL Team of the Century, was voted number 2 best ever North Melbourne player.
Wow.
And the biggest accolade, an MBE. Keith Gregg, welcome.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, mate, the MBE, that's the one that absolutely tops the list for me. Did you get a call from the Queen? What happens there?
I was working at North at the time. I was doing the promotions development with Laurie Dwyer. And apparently you have to be nominated for those sort of gongs to be allocated. And I got a call from Government House saying, would you be prepared to receive this award? And I said, of course I would. So that's all how it all happened.
Fantastic. Wow. That's amazing, mate. Hey, let's go right back to the beginning. Where did your love of footy begin? And as a young man, you're playing in the VFA and win a medal there as well, so you got that ability. But how did that passion develop?
Well, it was all junior footy through a guy who actually saw me play when I was at primary school and invited me to go and play with St Andrews, which is up in Pascoe Vale. From there, it just progressed. So I went from the under-13s to the under-16s, and then I went from the under-16s to Brunswick VFA in the thirds, and then played a year and a half in the thirds, half a season with Brunswick in the seniors, and then I went to North because I was zoned in their area, being Brunswick and North Melbourne zone.
I looked at your stats. It took me forever to read it, Keith, and welcome. You're an absolute star. And I can remember growing up watching you on the Winners, just a star, graceful. Brunswick, 27 games for 73 goals. North Melbourne, 294 games for only 48 goals. Were you... Hey? Were you
48
goals. Full forward? How many goals?
No, you're right. It was 48. My belief is, and I stand by it now, that I was to reduce the ball to the forwards when they were to kick the goals. So that's my excuse.
Oh, great. And Timmy read out the record. We jump a bit forward. You were only 21 when you won your first Brownlow, only in your third or fourth season.
That's right, yeah. Third season at North, and fortunate enough for that to come along, and then backed it up the following year, which was terrific as well.
Same amount of votes. What was a better year for you personally?
A better year for me was 1975, strangely enough.
Yeah, right.
And most of the blokes I speak to who have won it have said that the following year after they've won the Brownlow, that they think that's their better year as well. I spoke to Len Thompson about it. He said exactly the same thing. But I thought 75, being a premiership year, the season I had, I thought that was a better year out of probably the three.
Wow.
When you get to North Melbourne, they weren't travelling that great. I think they come off the back of a poor season in 72. What was the atmosphere like and the change, I suppose, under Barassi when he arrived?
Well, what happened was we played Carlton. They were premiers in 1970, and we played them in 1971, which was my first year. We beat them by, I think, 24 points at Arden Street, and I think that was their only win for the season.
Wow.
And then we had, I think the following year we had 2 wins, and then Barassi turned up with, in 73, with Shimbush and a couple of other handy blokes from your neck of the woods. And we sort of went from there, having a young list to an exciting list with Wade, Davis, Rantel, a heap of young guys from the country.
Geez, you had some names, didn't you, as teammates? And one of those blokes you might have been referring to from over here might have been Malcolm Blight, I reckon. He was a reasonable player. But Dougie Wade, David Dench, Baker, Brightus. Gee, there were some names.
We know all the names,
yeah,
don't
they
we?
were amazing names.
Yeah, that's right.
Like as blokes.
Really I went to the game on the weekend and caught up with a couple of them. And it's like every team. When you've got good friends and good mates, it's good to catch up with them. But every side's got those sort of people in them.
Yeah. I don't know how North used to do it through those years, Keith. Were there a lot of paper bags? Was there? I mean, every year you just got another star in there. Who was your recruiting manager?
Well, Ronnie Joseph was a guy who I think was responsible for a fair bit of it, and there were a few paper bags floating around. Johnny Rantel tells a terrific story about when he was enticed to North about his young son Bradley kicking around a paper bag that had full of $100 notes and going all over his lantern. But I think that happened with a lot of clubs. North were just fortunate enough to have Ron doing all that recruiting. Had great ties with South Australian, Western Australian administrators, so he was fortunate enough to be able to get those players across.
Yeah, 79 you played with one from over here, the great Russell Ebert. He had a reasonable year. It was only one. What did you think of him?
He's a great person. He came across as well. I think he played 5 or 6, went back home. But Russell was not just a great footballer, but he's a great person. Didn't get to know him all that well, but just his aura and the people that respect him was fantastic. Great bloke.
Yeah, we saw Cornsey today. He said to say good day to you, Keith. He said, terrific player. So he gave you a big rap, mate. I'm not sure whether you can reciprocate or not, but but he certainly... I know when Cornsey left, and he said it was a bit of a... what would you say, last-minute decision to go. He wasn't fully committed, but he ends up playing great footy in the state carnival that year. I think he won the medal, the Simpson medal overall, so he could play, couldn't he?
He could. Did he say to you that he's had sort of differences with Barassi and all that sort of stuff, or was that just sort of a thing that came from our end of the view?
Yeah, no, he did. He definitely did, and he said he didn't really like the style because he sort of said, look, he had Neil Curley. Now, he said the difference was Neil Curley was, fire and brimstone, but he didn't quite have the, what would you say, the cutting remarks or the personal comments that would go in with the spray. So he said that he didn't really like that style. And I believe you too sort of had a head-to-head with Barras eventually to say, hey, mate, leave me to my own devices. I'll be all right.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. I didn't enjoy that I didn't mind the criticism if I was doing something wrong, but the personal attacks got to a stage where in 1979 I actually had a meeting with him after the season finished and said, look, if you're going to keep this up, I want out. And he said, what do you want me to do? I said, just let me go about, doing what I'm doing and see what happens. Well, if you ever look at any footage of the 1980 season, I'm always at the back of the pack and at three-quarter and half-time. And he never spoke to me all year, surprisingly enough. And I won the best and fairest that year.
Yeah, and
well,
worked, Keith,
how tough
worked.
must have that been, Keith? And I think the million-dollar question on this is, were you a good plumber?
I still am a good plumber. What do you mean, were?
You're not. Are you still working, Keith Gregg?
I am still on the tools with my son, yes.
Wow.
Oh, how good is that? Because that, I think, was the comment that brought it to a head, where he made it really personal, wasn't it, Keith?
Yeah. It was not only that, it wasn't not only the plumbing one, it was about my dad as well, so that's what sort of tipped me over the edge.
Yeah. Yeah, fair call. Missing the 77 flag would have been a heartbreaker for you?
It was. Hit my knee in round 7 against Richmond at the MCG. Tried unsuccessfully to play. About eight or 9 weeks later, we played Hawthorn at Arden Street. Terrible day. And then we played Collingwood at Collingwood, and then I broke down and didn't play for the rest of the year. But, obviously disappointed that I wasn't there because I was captain of the club at the time. But went out second was fantastic. David Bench did a great job. Just disappointed I wasn't there for it.
What an era, though, for North Melbourne. I had a look at it. Technically, 5 grand finals, because there was the 74 loss to Richmond, 75 you beat Hawthorn. They turn it around in 76. Then you have the draw against Collingwood in 77 and then have to do the replay. So the club plays in 5 grand finals technically in a row in 4 years. It's an amazing era for the club.
Well, I think in those years, I think Wayne Schimmelbusch actually holds the record for the amount of finals appearances. I think he's played 28 or 29 finals appearances in 6 or 7 years. So we're in it all the time. And unfortunately, we only won 2 out of the 5 years. But we come up against some pretty good opposition at the time as well.
Oh, it was very, very hotly fought competition, wasn't it? You mentioned Wayne Schimmelbusch. You played with some amazing names, and you yourself voted number 2 in the all-time best Kangaroos. But who do you reckon was the best player that you played with?
Blighty was terrific. And Schimmelbusch, all those guys that you mentioned before about the names, they all had their strengths and weaknesses, obviously. But the more you get to know them, I mean, Mick Nolan's a great friend of mine, and Johnny Burns and all those sort of guys, all good players. So all come from interstate. Well, not all of them come from interstate. A lot did. Won best and fairest in the comps that they played. And like you said before, how did we get them all to North at one stage? But that was our luck at the time.
Ron Joseph he intrigues me as a character. I remember talking to Russell Ebert at length about, he continually knocked back offers, and he said, Paul kept coming to the party and looking after me. And I said, well, what happened in the end? And he said, Ron came over and said, Russell, this is the last time I'm coming to see you. And this is it. So if you don't come, you're never coming. And I said, did you respect that? And he said, I did. And I thought, he's right. I better go over and give it a go. Now, I know he transported himself over every Thursday and the like and stayed till the Sunday. But it was, I think, a mark of respect for Ron that he just loved the way he was an administrator. Yeah,
the thing is with Russell, I mean, Russell could have stayed in South Australia and been the champion he was and still is. Decided to test his ward in Victoria and did an exceptional job with it. And I think a lot of interstaters come across and they want to try their toe in the water. The one that would have been terrific to see would have been Stephen Michael from WA or Barry Robin from South Australia come across. But as it is, I mean, the competition's different back then, and they obviously enjoy what they were doing anyway.
Yeah, it was different. Everybody worked, didn't they? They had a job and, families and the like, so it wasn't as easy to move. But in those state games that you played, did guys like Stephen Michael and the like, I would imagine, Brian Peake, these sort of WA guys and the South Australians, they catch your eye. And, of course, Kim Hodgman came over and played with you guys as well.
He did, Hodgie. Yeah, he was quite good. He, number 17 for North. So,
yeah,
fight little bloke. But we had a lot of South Australians come across. Peter Jones was another one who came across for us. And so we had always had that connection with South Australian players coming across the North.
And I think Bruce Abernathy a bit later on. I'm not sure whether were you there when he came over, or was that after your time?
I was playing when Bruce came across too.
Yeah, so there you go. So it was a great connection, I think, with SA and North Melbourne, without a doubt.
What do you think of the modern game now, Keithy boy? And you're playing my mob, the Crows, on Sunday. You're no chance, are you?
Well, I went on Sunday to watch North play, and I thought Melbourne might have knocked them over, but they've got something about them at the moment, North, and you just wouldn't want them to fall back into a terrible game. I don't think they'll do that. The thing that I think that's really impressive with them at the moment is they're super quick, and they've got a lot of good inside blokes, a good ruckman, and a pretty good forward line with Darling coming in. The thing that's really impressive too is Caleb Daniels. I mean, he can use the ball exceptionally well. And, of course, you've got Luke Parker who's coming as well, so that's going to be a bonus for them. Now, whether they can go across to Adelaide and man up with the Crows, we'll just have to wait and see on that one.
Can I give you a stat, Keith Gregg, about North Melbourne and Adelaide Oval? You've never won on Adelaide Oval.
Well, it's always the first time, isn't it?
That's the response I wanted, because that's a champion response, Timmy G.
Right, and he was an absolute champion. Keith Gregg, thank you very much for your time, mate. We love going down this memory path, and you're one of the greatest we ever saw on the winners.
Good on you, guys. Thanks for the call.
Keith Gregg, unbelievable champion, our guest. All thanks to Walco. It's SA's biggest cover-up. Walco's mesh pool covers keeps leaves and debris out of your pool all year round, and because it's pulled super taut and never sags, it looks great. Ask Walco about their mesh pool cover.
Outstanding work. 6 for 141 South Australia here at Karen Rolton Oval in day one of the Shield. We are only probably a few minutes away from stumps on this very first day. 16 wickets have fallen. It's been quite incredible. Let's check your roads out there.
Warwick's and breakdown free for the drive home, so you should have too many hassles, which is great. We are busy at the moment. Regency Road at the South Road intersection. Also slow Cross Road at the South Road too, and Tapley's Hill Road pretty busy. That's as you're heading through Glenelg north towards Anzac Highway. Speeds reduced down to 40 in the Parklands for Works Green Hill Road near Peacock Road, and a camera-made terrace at Lockleys. Why pay on-road costs for a car that wants to go off-road? The Volkswagen Amarok Style V6. Get all your on-road costs for free. Test drive today. Offer ends March 31. Conditions and fees apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
If you want to know what's going on at the Port Adelaide Football Club, listen in to the 5AA Sports Show. Each week, Rowey and Timmy G chat with the players and coaches in the know. Thanks to Sharman Shelving. Sharman have moved their showroom next door into the big white building, still at 412 North East Road.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide Tech guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
Harvey Norman is bringing the heat with massive savings on HP and Asus laptops. For a limited time, you can save up to 20%. Yes, 20%. Need a lightweight, reliable laptop for work or study? The HP 14S with 8 gig of RAM is now just $598, saving you $130. For power users, the Asus VivoBook 15 with a huge 1 terabyte of storage is now $888. That's over $300 off. Or step up to serious performance with the HP Intel Core Ultra 5 laptop boasting 16 gig of RAM, a steal at $1,098, saving you $600. Harvey Norman delivers the best brands, the best range and the best prices guaranteed. Don't miss out on these tech bargains. Shop now. Terms and conditions apply.
Check out this great offer at a Harvey Norman store near you.
Deliver more with Toyota, the world's #1 forklift brand. Choose from a great range including pallet jacks, walkie stackers and reach forklifts, right up to their leading Toyota counterbalance forklifts. Legendary reliability and safety with cleaner, greener electric options. Toyota can tailor the right forklift solution for you. It's all part of the Toyota Forklift Advantage. For more, visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Get a Toyota forklift.
If you're a food service business owner or chef, you can't miss the SA Food Service Expo on Tuesday, 1st of April, 9:30 to 5 at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre, proudly presented by Galipo Foods.
Yeah, look, this is South Australia's largest food service expo. You can meet directly with 120 manufacturers, sample over 1,800 of the latest food products and access exclusively expo-only special pricing and deals to save you money.
Plus, meet with the latest equipment and service providers on hand to benefit your business.
This is a trade-only event open to any food service business in SA. Registration is essential, so please visit galipofoods.com.au/expo.
That's the SA Food Service Expo presented by Galipo Foods, Tuesday 1st of April at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre with free entry and parking. Thanks to Galipo Foods, proudly voted #1 food service distributor in SA.
Hi, Sarah Wren here, market lead at FIVEAA. 2025 will mark my first year participating in the annual Vinnie's CEO Sleep Out. On June 19, SA business and community leaders will gather at Adelaide Zoo for one night to raise funds and awareness for people who sleep rough every night. If you're a business or community leader, help break the cycle of homelessness by signing up at ceosleepout.org.au.
Simplicity Funerals make funeral planning the way it should be. Simple. With our easy and straightforward packages, it has never been simpler to organise a respectful funeral. Visit simplicityfunerals.com.au or call us 24/7 to get started today.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
5 minutes to 6 live at Karen Rolton Oval. South Australia are nearing stumps, 6 for 144 at bat. We have Ben Manenti and Jake Lehman cruising our way through a little partnership here late in the day, which is very nice. Now, if you'd like to win yourself an Empire Bar and Pool voucher, it's a great place to go with some mates at the end of a workday or even on the weekend. Empire Bar and Pool, where good games, great drinks and even better times come together 7 days a week. 8223 we have a voucher to give away right now. So Port Adelaide and Essendon's teams have dropped for Thursday night footy tomorrow, Timmy. 3 changes.
Yeah, well, Stephen at Aberfoyle Park will be listening closely. He did say he didn't expect White Finlayson should come back into the team. Well, he hasn't, Stephen, so you've got your wish there. So out is Burton, Lukosius, Jones, all injured. Coming in will be Radigalia, Ivan Soldo and Tom Cochrane. So we knew that young fella was debuting, but, you know, that is probably now Soldo is the forward/ruck. Second option.
So Soldo in for Luco. Radigalia goes back for, say, Burton.
Or Jones, /Jones.
I'd suggest Burgoyne might slide back.
I think
he covers
slides
Jones.
back, and I think
Cochrane comes in.
Well, Cochrane comes in, but that might mean that either a Joe Berry or a Richards perhaps pushes up to a wing.
And I'd like to get Berry up onto that wing.
So that
Don't hang him out that forward line.
So that might help a little bit there too as well. So
you happy with that?
Yeah, look, I'm happy with those replacements. We'll see how
Are they right to go?
Rolls.
Here's the thing, neither of them played last week. They were your travelling emergency.
That wasn't, I don't think, great for their conditioning.
No.
But Radagalia's had 2 runs now, and I think that was good for him. But I would have liked to have seen the farm play last week.
And Soldo the second ruckman.
Yeah.
So no Ollie Wines.
Correct. We won't see Ollie.
And that's a bonus.
I think it's a bonus.
But that's a bonus, Timmy.
Let's see how it works. But you know what? When you got 9 out, you got to do something.
Changes for Essendon as well, just the 2. Jordan Ridley returns from concussion.
Well, that's a big in.
Saad El Hawley is going to make his AFL debut. He was a mid-season draftee last year for the Dons, so he gets this opportunity, much like Tommy Cochrane for Port. And going out of the side, they're forced as well with injury. Archie Perkins goes out, so does Elijah Sardis. So that's your Thursday night football lineup, and that'll be live on 5AA tomorrow evening. We are live here at Karen Rolton Oval, 6 for 150 now, South Australia. They've eclipsed the 150, so they're ahead by 55 runs, still with 4 wickets in hand. It's been a busy day in terms of that. Stumps is right around the corner. So is the 6 o'clock news. We'll be back in just a moment.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
At Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, choosing your new Volkswagen is easy. They're clearing all 2024 plated Volkswagens. How good is this? You get free on-roads, free stamp duty and 12 months worth of rego. All are ready for immediate delivery. And we have easy finance options and remember our next day servicing. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen's 2024 plate clearance. You'd better be quick. Salisbury Highway, just a short drive from the city.
With Bridgestone Tech Check, our technicians send you a 60-second video inspection that shows you what needs repairing now and what can wait, so you can go with confidence. Bridgestone Select Tyre and Auto.
With so many holiday homes on Booking.com, there are so many Tina Feys I could be. Surfing Tina at a beach villa. Is that a shark? Or channel surfing Tina in an apartment. Ooh, a shark show. Book whoever you want to be. Booking.com, Booking.yeah.
Stratco Garden Centres have all your gardening supplies covered. So come in and check out our massive range of plants, trees, seedlings, pots and much more. Visit your local Stratco Garden Centre at Jeff's Cross or Gawler and talk to one of our professional horticulturalists. Our experts can help you with any garden-related questions, from how to best care for your lawn to the best plant for this time of year. So get into a Stratco Garden Centre now. However you bring the dream, Stratco will bring the how-to.
At Complete Care, we're more than just a care provider, we're a family. As we celebrate our 10th year, our mission remains the same, to empower our specialised team of carers and client service managers to help our seniors live independently. We provide personalised services including cleaning and home maintenance to social support and transportation. We look after you like family, offering a warm, caring touch that sets us apart. At Complete Care, we're the company with heart. Complete Care with a K.
Just call Ken Hall. He'll be there anytime at all. Just call Ken Hall.
Is a leaky tap or toilet drip driving you crazy? Need new lights or fans installed quickly? Is it time for aircon maintenance or a roof repair? Ken Hall handles all your small jobs with care. We are plumbers, electricians, roofers and air conditioning experts. Working for you since 1983. Just call Ken.
Just call Ken Hall.
The latest local, national and international news for South Australia. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Down to 17 tonight, sunny tomorrow 32. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
To make room for renovations, Agostino Mitsubishi are having a stock clearance sale on now, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
The Albanese government is on track for its $17 billion tax package to pass through Parliament as early as tonight. Michael Packey is in Canberra.
Most working Australians will be around $500 a year better off when Labor's pre-election tax cuts are fully implemented by July 2027. Opposition leader Peter Dutton is not backing the measure, arguing it's a cruel hoax.
Be grateful, be thankful, because 70 cents a day is coming your way.
Prime Minister Anthony Albanese urged the coalition to support the policy, claiming its modest cost of living relief.
They are delulu with no salulu, Mr Speaker. They are completely delusional.
The government relying on the Greens and some independents to get the tax cuts over the line.
Investigations are continuing into the death of a 43-year-old woman at Christie Downs this morning. She was found collapsed at a Rufus Crescent property and pronounced dead at the scene. A 54-year-old man at the scene was arrested after allegedly assaulting officers. He's in hospital undergoing treatment and will appear in court at a later date. A person has been treated for smoke inhalation after a house fire in the eastern suburbs. Nick Meester from the MFS says they were called to Phyllis Street at Maylands just before 3 this afternoon.
On arrival, crews found smoke issuing from the 2 upper floors of a multi-storey building. 16 firefighters from 4 appliances tended the scene.
The fire is being treated as suspicious. Jeans West has entered administration with 90 stores to close and the loss of around 600 jobs across the country. Parent company Harbour Guidance will restructure the business and are expected to keep the online shop. Retail analyst Barry Urquhart says March was always going to be the month when many businesses would fold.
Many of them have been holding on very tenuously in the hope that last Christmas was going to be their saving grace. Christmas was flat. Sales were contracted, and bricks and mortar stores, along with online, did not have a good Christmas period, and therefore reality has struck.
3 people have managed to escape as 2 Air Force jets collided in France. The accident happened during rehearsals for a stunt routine. All on board the planes were able to eject before they crashed. One burst into flames when it hit a silo. The other landed in a nearby canal. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Kiesa Physiotherapy, Rehabilitation and Strength Training. Build strength with precision at Kiesa Norwood.
It's late on day one of the Shield final between SA and Queensland. The Bulls made 95 after being sent into bat. The home side are currently 6 for 154. These fans have given Karen Rolton Oval the thumbs up.
Very excited. I would like to find a nice seat and relax for the day and enjoy the day.
Drove up with my best mate Lockie from Port Pirie. Took us about 3 hours to get here, and bloody loving it.
It's always been a brilliant cricket ground, but to have the additional extras here this week is something pretty special.
That audio thanks to Seven. Well, Port have announced their side for tomorrow night's round 3 opener against Essendon in Melbourne. We already knew that Tom Cochrane will make his AFL debut. His inclusion is one of 3 forced changes, with Jack Lukosius, Ryan Burton and Lockie Jones injured. Isava Ratugolea and Ivan Soldo will come into the side for their first games of the season. And in tennis, Alex de Minaur is out of the Miami Open, beaten by Matteo Berrettini in straight sets, 6-3, 7-6. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Sharman Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the Big White Building, still at 412 North East Road.
At Norwood, a crash, Kensington Road just past the Britannia roundabout. Crayfus West, a breakdown on the freeway uptracked in the Beestags ramp, and Evanston Park, a fuel spill, Main North Road near Power Road. Busy right now, South Road at Karata Park with a camera at Goodwood Road at Kernelight Gardens. Take control of hazardous dust and stay safe with the Metabo H&M Class cordless and corded vacuum. Metabo, the power to meet your standards. Visit metabo.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA weather.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 17 tonight, 32 and sunny tomorrow. Friday, mostly sunny, 33. Saturday, much the same, and 29. Right now, it's 28 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Thanks, I'm Kate Collins. Tonight's headlines. Police officers have been attacked while responding to the death of a woman at Christie Downs. 3 men jumped from a balcony to escape a fire in Maylands. And Port's Tom Cochrane to make his AFL debut and become the first AFL player with Tourette's syndrome. And don't worry, you haven't missed the news. Start over on 9 Now as soon as you're home.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide. The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
6 minutes after 6 here on this Wednesday afternoon. It is day one and stumps officially here at Karen Rolton Oval, which is where we've been throughout the afternoon and here till 6:30. Driving with Dixon not too far away at 6:30 tonight. But SA have batted quite nicely, Rowey. They've got themselves to stumps 6 down.
Yeah, they have. Balls were all out, as we said, for 95. Uzi made 2 off 28. Marnus got a quack. Jack Clayton, the Golden Duck. They were 5 for 22. Very nervous. I think they lost 4 for 3 wickets off 20 balls. Well done, Brendan Doggett. Got a 6 for. Yeah. Nathan McAndrew, 2 for 22. Because it's cricket, we can do a Richie Benno while we're here. In reply at stumps, as you said, we're 6 for 158. A lead of 63. Lehman not out 42. And Manenti, God, to have him come in at that time of the day, what a luxury. He's not out 36. Both of them looking good. Timmy, you said they need to be there at stumps.
And they were.
They are.
Yeah, and it's an excellent result, really. Like you said, Ben Manenti coming in at number 8, and he did the job that we needed. You know, I was saying, well, we interviewed him yesterday, and we spoke about how when, you know, perhaps one player doesn't play well or there's a bit of a failure here or there, other players are picking it up for him, and it's not the same players all the time. So that's the thing about being a
share
team.
The load.
And it's, today, a few guys got a start. I thought Connor McInerney toughed it out for his 38. A couple of ducks in between there. And then Alex Carey was looking really good on 24 before he chopped it on. But Jake Lehman came in, looked assertive. I think he had 31 off 31. He ended up just parking the bus. Yep. 42 not out off 65, really nicely done. Len Scott, another one just down the leg side, out unfortunately for 6, but Ben Manenti and Jake Lehman in. Ben Manenti, 36 not out off 43 is a really good innings.
And the one at the start of the day, selection-wise, they said Lloyd Pope wasn't going to play today, and they put Manenti in as their sole spinner. It sounded a little bit controversial, but I think you can see why you'd play Manenti ahead. He can add that extra batting power into your list.
As it turned out, our Quick's got it done.
Well,
and that's right.
Well, at the end of the day, you want to win, but you don't need to take 20 wickets. You just need to bat and not lose. Because a draw, they win. Isn't that right?
Not exactly. It comes down to bonus points, but yes.
Well, they're out the shuffle now. Yeah. They're all out for 95.
Yeah, so SA will take a whole bonus point out of that first innings, and we'll soon see how much more they can make from here if they get past 200 before the 100 overs is up. Righto, let's get to our next guest and a very exciting weekend ahead.
Well, the 25 sample season, it's right on the cusp. This Friday night it all begins again. And this team, well, I tell you what, they've been slowly rising back up the charts, and their coach, Paul Thomas of Central District. G'day, mate.
G'day, how are you?
Excellent, mate.
Tom,
Finished third last year. As I say, this has been a real nice little build that you're going to. You expect to improve again?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just maintain the expectations we sort of finished off towards last year, which is to give yourself the best shot at playing in the grand finals, top three. So we'll certainly have that as a measure, but knowing you'll take any shot you get. So the top five is also not disappointing, but yeah, we've got an expectation and a measure that we're certainly shooting at off the back of that build you spoke of.
Well, that final against Sturt, I think that gave you real confidence the way you turned that around in the second half. And I think that for that group that you've been coaching along the way, I think that was a real confidence booster.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they learn a lot from that win. Also from losing a couple finals as well. You know, we were a win away from playing in the grand final, so there was lots of lessons learned in both the win and the loss, and put a bit of that into practice over the summer, and hope that you're plan to be at the pointy end of the season to see if you really learnt it or not.
It's been a slow build, but a good one. You've just played the right way down at Central's, always in it. Love to build on that this year. You had a few go. Let's talk about who's coming. You got a couple of lads from Tasmania.
Yes, correct. Yeah, so Jack Tompkinson's a forward ruck. Could also use him as a ruck. We tried to get Jack to help us last year, but where Tassie footy was at, he felt there was probably maybe opportunity with their VFL program and things that were coming, but didn't really come to fruition down there. So he's looking for that challenge of a state league footy, which suits us, and it was a good time for him. We're just lucky that a good mate of his, Zach Adams, who'd played some state league footy with Port Melbourne a couple of years ago, was looking to do the same thing. So I feel that the Tassie league and the change that they've got is probably going to see a bit more talent come across to the mainland, more so than ever, to play that higher level. So sort of beneficiary of that for sure.
Yeah, Jared Schiller will be missed, state footballer. Jez McClellan, he's gone to Port Adelaide. Did you hear the news about Tommy Cochran?
We got wind of it yesterday, and we're massive Tom Cochran fans, the Thomas family. We went and got Tommy Cochran badges. I actually stopped at Alberton on a day off and put our hand in our pocket and got Tommy Cochran badges. So they've been on our breakfast bar. We thought we might not activate them for a while, but his pre-season's been unreal and the timing's so good for him. So, yeah, we'll sit down in front of the TV tomorrow night. Don't know if he starts or he's a sub or what the go is, but it'll probably be the first and one and only maybe time I really embrace black and white until.
Well said, and rightly so. What a great lad.
It's a great story and a great family. You're dead right there. Hey, mate, coming into this season, and I noticed a couple of probably big outs for you, and in saying big, tall. Billy McCormack, who I thought was really developing nicely. Of course, Hugo Munn. They're a couple of tools that you're obviously trying to replace with the Tasmanian recruit there as well. But have you got somebody to help out in that area, and Aidan Grace as well up forward? Anybody else as far as a forward role goes?
Yeah, Kobe Anand is come across from Werribee, so he has led the ruck there, sort of
great.
Between another boy and himself, who sort of led the ruck at different stages. He played in the grand final that Werribee lost to the Suns, and last year missed out in their win against Southport. So he's a state league ruck. We're really impressed with what he's done. He's a competitive, combative ruckman, and with Jack, we feel that helps. Probably young Bo Thomas, who developed pretty well at the end of last year. Sort of feel like, those guys will help those others around them really hone in what they're good at. And like you said, we saw Aidan Grace last year benefit from having Bo Thomas next to him, taking sort of that bigger, stronger defender. So as soon as those moving pieces will also hopefully bring out that little bit more in every individual. And those two big blokes have done that really well so far this summer.
Yeah, I thought Bo really finished the year off well, and his finals campaign was really encouraging.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's across our whole board.
True.
I think last year we averaged 20. Jared Schiller was only over 30, and everyone else felt like they were having 21st and 22nds. And so it feels like this year they might be turning 23, 24, and we know the maturity of those guys and their body, their understanding of their own positioning, and just getting that football mouse, I suppose, that comes with experience. So we feel there's a growth from within our group just in natural getting that 1 year older, and myself included, getting that 1 year older and that another summer to really work on things that you need to as a coach, but that also help the player.
I think you like to be in front of the curve when you're a coach, and you don't want to get to round 3 and work out the teams are doing something that you guys aren't. If I look at the AFL, I think when they go now, they go, don't they, Paul? They just hit the scoreboard. We can see the scores that are happening. Are we going to be the same? Will we follow that trend in the SANFL?
I think you'll see, Glenelg will do it a different way with their ability to kick the ball and move it. They've got some beautiful kickers in their team, and they're playing at a small oval. They kind of need to do that. And their forwards are quite dangerous, so why wouldn't you sort of try and move it there? I feel a couple of teams will try and do it by handball and run. Potentially Eagles looking to, use runners of Rowe, Knight. Much is back there from South Adelaide. North Adelaide have got a new look midfield, so how they want to play. South last year showed they want to try and go fast, and sometimes they want to go a bit slow at times. But I feel that the trend is heading towards where the AFL is. So the beauty of ours competition is the game gets slowed down by the number of rotations we get, how gassed guys get from 75 rotation cap, and the combative nature that SANFL still has, which might dry up scoring a little bit, but I think you'll sort of see teams trying to score pretty quickly.
Yeah, when they can, they'll go. You got Eagles round 1. That's this Saturday. I'll be out there. You got a fit and healthy list at this time of the year, Tomo?
Yeah. I feel we're trending in the right direction towards getting our best 22 out on the park for sure. There'll be some guys who make their first club appearance. Some who make their first SANFL appearance. So we're sort of super excited for it.
Well, all the best with it, mate. Big season ahead, and the doggies are climbing back up the ladder, and all the best with it, mate.
Yeah, thanks very much, fellas.
Fantastic. Central District football coach Paul Thomas, our guest, and I like the way they're building.
Oh, yeah. He's done a terrific job. Slow build. You have a look at it since he got there, year by year,
Correct.
Incremental improvement. Kaizen.
Yep.
Incremental improvement.
Should be a big one on Saturday. Yeah. All the best.
Huge one. Now, you can catch the FIVEAA Interactive Lounge tomorrow with Stacey Lee and representatives from SA Health discussing law changes and South Australia's new donor conception register. That's all coming up tomorrow on FIVEAA afternoons. We are still here at Karen Rolton Oval. Players just concluded for day 1, and it's been a busy one. South Australia 6 for 158 after bowling Queensland out for 95. We'll dissect more of that after the break. It is currently 17 after 6.
The FIVEAA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Get a coach's perspective each week on the FIVEAA Sports Show when Rowey and Timmy G chat with Scott Camporeale for Coach's Corner. Thanks to Unique Homestyle Foods, proudly baking for hundreds of South Australian businesses for 35 years. See the difference.
Yeah, not listening to that.
While you focus on your playlist, we'll handle your car battery. Battery World has the largest range of quality car batteries to keep you moving. Book your free car battery test today.
Rochelle Childs was murdered and her killer has never been caught. Join me, Ashley Hansen, cold case specialist Damien Loon and Rochelle's sister Christy for Dear Rochelle, a new true crime series. Visit dearrochelle.com.au.
In the market for a new MG? Speak to Ben at Adelaide Hills MG in Bridgewater first. Ben and his team simply won't be beaten on price and service. At Adelaide Hills MG, we make it easy to purchase your new MG with great finance deals and cars in stock ready to go. Remember, don't sign anything until you've put Adelaide Hills MG to the test. Get good old country service at amazing city prices. That's the Adelaide Hills MG difference.
The passing of someone close places unique stress on family and friends.
At this time, Farrell and O'Neill Funerals are here to provide reassurance and peace of mind. Farrell and O'Neill offer creative guidance and advice to tailor a service that best honours your loved one. Whether a large gathering or a small, intimate service, Farrell and O'Neill share their generations of experience in tailoring a unique and meaningful farewell. Proudly SA family-owned and operated, because it's personal.
When it comes to reducing pain and rebuilding strength, FIVEAA leaves nothing to chance. Our university-qualified health professionals don't just treat problem areas. They design personalised training programs using Swiss-engineered machines unique to FIVEAA. These machines safely isolate the affected area, test your strength, and help rebuild your muscles for a stronger, more active and healthier life. FIVEAA, building strength with precision in Norwood.
Consciousness. The awareness of one's existence has divided philosophers for centuries. Is it an illusion? Do we exist beyond our own mind? Or are we just watching Aldi's 43-inch Full HD Smart TV? Just $249. With streaming at your fingertips. It's special you can buy at Aldi's Big Entertainer Sale this Saturday. Aldi. Good different.
Hi, Sarah Wren here, Market Lead at FIVEAA. 2025 will mark my first year participating in the annual Vinnie's CEO Sleep Out. On June 19, SA business and community leaders will gather at Adelaide Zoo for one night to raise funds and awareness for people who sleep rough every night. If you're a business or community leader, help break the cycle of homelessness by signing up at ceosleepout.org.au.
Rowey and Timmy G, the FIVEAA Sports Show.
Game was only we played St Kilda at Moorabbin where we played both rucks together, so we got an opportunity to look at that, so we know what that can work like for us. The reality is what the balance does to our team and the way we want to play with ball movement and stuff, what having the extra tall does. Equally as important is what defensive pressure you're able to get onto from a different point of view. So they're all the things that we've got to consider this morning before we lock into what we're going to do.
Thank you.
So that's the voice of Ken Hinkley. Big game Thursday night footy tomorrow night. And Friday gets exciting for Rowey and Timmy G's Showdown Fish Off. All thanks to Alpha Industries and Peppers Cleaning Products. Truck strength for your car, caravan, boat or home. peppersaustralia.com.au. Crows v Port Nettie. McHenry's going to be there. George Fiacci's going to be there. Scotty Hodges, yourself, Rowey and Timmy. This is going to be a lot of fun. We've got a couple of listeners ready to go. So Friday we're gearing up. It should be good fun.
Blowing its gizzards off too, so bring the calls.
Oh, I've got the quells. I've been taking them daily.
Hey, Dizzy Gillespie just dribbled past. Well, you can do the Port team again, but Dizzy walked past. Well, Rorty, he's got a statue at Adelaide Oval. He was the coach that probably set this team up. He'd get a lot of joy out of the team winning if they can. I said, Diz, I'm a bit nervous about Uzi batting for a day in Barnes. He said, keep the faith, Rowey. He said, the new ball's not ready for 35 overs.
There you go.
So in that 35 overs, just think if we could be 200 or plus up.
250.
He said Junior and Manenti can bat. The next man in is McAndrew, can bat.
Yeah.
Keep the faith. If we're batting at T, we win.
Good advice.
Great
well
advice.
done, Diz.
All right, let's do it. Okay. Those changes for Port Adelaide, of course, Lukosius, Lockie Jones and Burton all out injured. But the incoming, Ivan Soldo, Asava Radicalia and Tom Cochrane for his first game. Exciting stuff. Well done, Tommy. Really important. Essendon, Jordan Ridley returns from concussion. They got a debutant.
Sardell Hawley.
Correct, which is awesome. And Archie Perkins and Elijah Satas out.
Yep.
So well done. Let's go to Ash, Colonel Light Gardens. Hello, Ash.
Hello, Rowey. Hello, boys.
Sorry about that. QF75's just going over top.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Go on, Ash.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah, Ash, couldn't give a rat's toss back, could you?
Yeah, no, I could hear it because I was just there.
Good man.
I'm on Halifax Street at the moment, sitting out the front.
Good on you.
Of the
Beautiful.
Good on you.
Look, I thought the Sack's done a great job at the facilities today. And, you know, that's really good. I think the cricket's been fabulous. It's been a cracking day. What are you taking? 16 wickets so far? You know, couldn't ask for anything more. But this bloody leaves me ropeable. you can't have West End advertising everywhere and not sell a damn bloody West End can.
No.
No way.